Hey everybody, welcome to American Studies 201. This is a how to get started in this class video. I'm going to lead you through some of the features of the class, the nature of the class. I'm going to show you the syllabus and talk about some of the things you're going to need to do right away to be successful in this class. The first thing we're talking about in terms of this class is that this is going to be an asynchronous class. Now, what that means is we're not going to have regularly scheduled times to meet with this class, certain days, certain times of the day. All your learning materials are going to be available online for you to access on your schedule. These lectures, things like this that you're seeing me do right now, these are going to be pre-recorded, and you will be able to access them for the particular week that we're going to be working on. Okay, so that's the first big thing. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Matt Haskins. I've been teaching in the American Studies department for 20 years now. I've been teaching this class for a long time. The best way to get a hold of me is, especially right now, is email, mhaskins@fullerton.edu. All right, so syllabus. I'm going to go through this. Just like I would if we were in class together. I always go through the syllabus with my students in class. But the syllabus is your friend. Refer to it when you need to understand due dates or what we're going to be dealing with in a particular week. It is a helpful resource. Class announcements. Be on the lookout for class announcements. Now, with online classes, there tends to be two kinds of criticisms students have about contact with faculty. One is, for some classes, they feel a bit abandoned and they don't hear enough from their teacher. On the other hand, sometimes students feel overwhelmed and bombarded that faculty are constantly sending them announcements. I'm going to do it about once a week. That's my plan with this class. If something special comes up that I can't wait for the next sort of scheduled announcement, maybe I'll send you two in a week. But that seems about the right number, about once a week. I'm going to get in touch with you, let you know what's coming up in the next week, share any relevant information, share anything interesting that occurs to me. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you check your spam folder if you're not receiving anything from me within the first couple days of when class starts, because sometimes stuff gets sent there. Okay. Let's talk about the books we're going to be reading for this class. Right here is a list of books. These books are also listed in your syllabus. All the books are required. There are 4 of them. You can purchase them online. You can get them at the campus bookstore. Make sure you check what the hours are for the campus bookstore. They're a bit more limited right now than they would normally be. So before you swing by there, if you're going to pick them up there, make sure they're going to be open when you do it. The 4 books we are going to be reading are Kenneth Lockridge's A New England Town, Benjamin Franklin, The Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, Karen Houghton's Confidence Men and Painted Ladies, and Jim Cullen's The Art of Democracy. The only one of these that might be tricky if you're buying online is Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. And that's because there are so many editions of Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. So here on this PowerPoint slide, I not only give you the author and the title, but also the ISBN number. Okay. That number allows you to make sure you're getting the specific edition I'm using in class. The reason why the Franklin one is tricky is because for all these books, I give you page numbers for your reading assignments, for your weekly reading assignments. And there's so many different editions of Franklin's autobiography that different editions are going to have different pagination. They're going to have different page numbers. The edition I have for you here, the Dover edition, is the cheapest one other than free PDFs. Okay, so to make your life simple, order this Franklin edition if you're buying it online. If you go to the bookstore, this is the one they'll have. But if you go to, if you order it online, use this ISBN. It'll get you the book. The book's $3 or $4. There's no reason not to get this edition. And so when you look at your weekly reading assignment, the pages will sync up. Things will make more sense. You won't get confused. Okay. Let's talk about a class discussion. There is going to be a class discussion requirement in this class. I'll go over the different requirements when we take a look at the syllabus, but I want to talk about class discussion right now. Class discussion is going to be an important component of this class. For online classes, I want you to have some interaction with your fellow students. I want you to have some opportunity to discuss some of the things that you are learning about in this class. The class discussion is also really easy points. Really easy points. Every week I'm going to have a prompt, some sort of question that I'm going to pose to you as a class, and I expect you to respond to it. You will do two things. One, you will come up with an original response to that prompt, and then you will look through one of the responses of one of your classmates, and you will respond to a classmate's reaction. Okay. Almost always, these prompts are going to be reaction. Often they're going to be, what do you think? They're not going to require research or outside research. You might want to, if you want to be specific about something you're talking about, you want to maybe look through your notes or go back and look into the book. But frequently they will just be, what do you think about this thing? Okay. You will either get credit or no credit for your response. If you make a decent effort at it, if you appear to be trying in good faith to answer this, you will get full credit on your response. There will be 10 points each week for this. You'll get 5 points for your initial response and 5 points for responding to a classmate. Like I said, these are easy points. Make sure you're doing this because this is a silly area to lose points in. The only reason you wouldn't get points is if you're giving me 1-word responses, 4-word responses, you're clowning people in this, you're being rude to other people with this. That's why you wouldn't be getting points. But if you're making a good faith effort, you're going to be getting good points. All right. Technical and online help. There are lots of resources to help you with this. If you're having some sort of technical problem, my recommendation is to go through these options first, and then if they tell you it's something on my end, or you find out it's on my end, then get in touch with me, because chances are if you're having some sort of technical problem accessing something like this, what I'm not going to understand why, and then I'm going to tell you, well, go talk to IT. And so I'm probably going to send you here first anyway. And so there are a few things you can access. There is the Titanium student self-guide, which first place, look through this document, look for potential solutions to your problems. There's the phone number for the student IT help desk. They're great. You can email problems to the email help desk, and there is also an online chat that's available. It's not 24 hours a day. Check out the times. I think it's like 8 in the morning till 8 at night during weekdays, and maybe more limited. It'll tell you when you click on the link to go check it out. But these are all great resources. Take a look at those if you're having any sort of trouble. online. Okay. All right, that's it for what we're doing with this PowerPoint. Let's take a look at the syllabus. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, some of this we've already talked about. Hi, I'm Matt Haskins. There's my email. There's my office. Office hours. Now, the only part of this class that will not be asynchronous will be office hours. I will be holding office hours through Zoom Monday, 8 in the morning to 9:30 on Mondays, Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. later in the day on Wednesdays, and then Friday back again from 8 a.m. to 9:30. Okay. Nature of the course. What are we going to be doing in this course? American Studies 201 is the introduction to American Studies. And the way we teach it is we break American history up to the present into 4 blocks, and every faculty member teaches it in their own way. For my class, we're going to be looking at 4 specific aspects of American civilization. We're going to be looking at, our first unit's going to be on the Puritans from around 1600, we'll go back a little earlier, as you'll see from our first lecture, to about 1750. Our next unit will be on the Enlightenment, 1700 to 1800. Third unit, Victorianism, early 1820s to 1900, and our fourth unit will be on popular culture from the middle 1800s up to the present. We'll see how far we get. Okay, the books, we've already talked about those. Okay, GE requirements, hopefully you know why you're taking this. Technical requirements, take a look at that. Stuff you are more interested in. Course requirements and grading. Okay, your grade in this class will be based on 4 components. The first one we've talked about, online discussion. That'll be 10% of your class. Second will be unit assessments, quizzes. Those will be 25%. And then you will have essay around what you would expect the time of the midterm, middle October. This essay will be your midterm. And then finally, towards the end of class, another essay that you will turn in the last day of class. Okay, I've already talked about online discussion. Let's talk about these unit assessments. Every 2 weeks, every other week, so not first week, second week, and then every other week after that, you'll take a 15-question quiz online. They will be mostly multiple choice questions, but I will probably throw in some true-false questions in there. These quizzes will cover material, online lectures, your reading, any videos I also assign in that. Anything covered will be fair game for these assessments. I will tell you right now, one thing to be particularly careful about with the online assessments is reading. Reading's very important to me. I believe in university we read books. And so some of the questions for these quizzes will be straight out of the book and will not be things I discuss. This is how I find out if you guys are doing the reading. I ask you stuff from the books. Okay? So make sure you're doing the reading. Read carefully. Okay? You don't have to memorize the book. I don't expect you to memorize the book. But I expect you to focus on important things that the authors are emphasizing in the book. And I'll ask you about some of those important things in the book. So make sure you're doing the reading. That's important. The essays I'm not gonna talk too much about right now. Class just started. They're not due for a very long time. I'll describe them a bit right now. So just as you see here, you'll write a 3 to 5 page essay in response to prompts I asked. The first one for essay 1 will be about something about comparing the Puritan experience to the Enlightenment. For your second essay, it will ask you to talk about something of Victorianism and maybe compare it to popular culture. Maybe not compare. Maybe we might do something different. All you need to know right now is these essays are not going to require outside research. It's only going to deal with material from this class, your readings, my lectures, any videos I also post on here. So you won't have to be doing anything else outside of that. I will give you more specifics as we get closer in terms of format and style and things like that. You don't have to worry about that right now. All you need to know right now is be staying up, watching the videos, my lectures, take good notes, do your reading, focus on those. And if you're doing those things, you're going to be fine. And then carve out some time around the time of the midterm when the first essay is due and for the final, and be able to work on that. I'm going to post the prompt for essay number 1 on October 9th, and it's going to be due a week later, October 6th. I'm going to post the prompt for essay number 2 on December 11th, and it's going to be due last day of class, December 18th. And so as we start getting closer and approaching, particularly essay number 1, I'll talk a lot more about that and get you prepared for that. Okay. What remains for the syllabus is the class schedule. Okay. So week 1, the founding of Denham, Massachusetts. This is going to be this town. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about your reading, Roman numeral 11 through 36, basically the first 2 chapters in the Lockridge book. And then when your online discussion is due by, okay, August 28th. You'll have to post your response and respond to a classmate by before midnight, Friday, August 28th. Week 2, similar kind of thing you'll see. Communal politics, issues of authority and freedom. That's what we're going to be talking about week 2. You're going to read pages 37 through 78, basically chapters 3 and 4 in the Lockridge book. Once again, your online forum responses will be due before midnight, Friday, September 4th. Now you'll notice there's an extra thing for week 2, and that's your assessment. Your quiz will be due by midnight, before midnight, September 4th again. All right, and so that's what the scheduled class. If you're wondering what we're going to be doing and what due dates and prompts are going to be, it's here in the syllabus. Okay. All right. Let's talk about accessing material from the class. Okay. In this class, we're going to be using titanium. Might be a little tricky for some of you this year, because this year we're going to be, some of your professors are going to continue using titanium. Others are going to be converting over to Canvas next year. The whole campus will be using Canvas. I thought there have been enough changes going on right now in all of our lives that I would just continue using titanium for those continuing students who already are familiar with titanium. Okay, so you access the class through titanium. Don't be confused about this if your number is different than this. I am teaching 5 sections of American Studies 201 this semester, and so I just picked one of these. If you're in a different section of my class, it'll have a different number, but everything else is the same. This is where class announcements will be available. If for whatever reason you didn't get an email or you want to look up an older announcement that I sent out to you guys, they will all be listed here. This is the how you get started. This is where this video will be. Now, for the first time and maybe other times when you access this class, these links will be hidden in the beginning. what you will do is hit the link up here, and then it will drop down and give you this. I do this just to make initially the first time you look at the class seem a little cleaner, and as you'll see what I have for week 1, there's seemingly a lot of stuff. It's not as much as you look, but I don't want to freak anybody out and overwhelm anybody immediately. So if you don't see any of this information, and you won't the first time, hit the link and then stuff will drop down. So there's the syllabus. Here's some instructions for responding to the forum. This is the initial PowerPoint that I used here. With all of my PowerPoints that I lecture over, I also give you a link to the raw PowerPoint without me lecturing. If you ever want to just print those out and have those to look at, I always give you the raw PowerPoint. This lecture will be here, but it can't be there yet because I'm recording it right now. So it will be available down here when the time comes. Okay. And this is week 1. So you will hit this link and this will drop down. Okay, so what do we have here? Again, it looks like a ton of stuff, but it's not as overwhelming as it seems. I will give you the weekly reading assignment for each week. It's on the syllabus, but it's kind of nice. Make it easy that's right there. So there it is for week 1, Kenneth Lockridge, New England Town, Roman numeral 11 to 36. So you don't have to keep going back and accessing weekly reading assignments. They'll be there for you. Your discussion question. Okay, there it is. Even got a little clip from The Simpsons for you to look at if you want. And you see that, and you can respond to it there. So that's where your discussion prompts will be. Then the lectures that you'll have. Your lectures will be in a format like this. I'll be screencasting what's on my screen. I'll be up in a little box talking to you. Okay. Let me show you real quick here one of the things. I was about to start talking. This closed captioning. Captioning is available I've gone through, I've edited these. Please look at them because it took me a lot of time to caption these, to edit the captioning. This is not simply for people that might have visual or perception problems that make it, hearing problems. But also some students find that by looking at the captioning while I'm lecturing, they understand the material better. So that might be something you give a try. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't, but it will be there. So that little CC button will allow you to do it. I give you the time just so you know before you get into each lecture how long it's going to take. The first one's almost 18 minutes. Second one a little over 28 minutes. So I'll always give you that. I sometimes, and some weeks there will be 1, 2, 3 of them. Some weeks there will be none. Videos. These will mostly be YouTube videos of information that clarifies some of the things I talk about or adds some perspective or just sort of are interesting there. So watch those. Those are also part of this class. Down below, once again, these are the raw PowerPoints that I lecture over. So for this lecture here, lecture 1, Protestant Reformation, that's the PowerPoint if you want that as a resource there. Sometimes the PowerPoint slides are very detailed and there's a lot of information in them. Sometimes they're just introducing topics that I'm going to lecture on. So some of you might find them interesting and useful, some of you might not. Okay. And then finally, these are the links for our office hours. Okay. So for week 1, if you want to talk to me for office hours, Monday between 8 and 9:30, you just come here, you'll hit this link, and it'll open up Zoom, and I will be available to talk. Now, there will be waiting rooms for you. And so I will not have all of you just meeting together there. Often, maybe not often, but sometimes students have sensitive information that they don't want to be shared in a group. That's sort of the reason for office hours, talking about grades. Sometimes students have personal problems that they're dealing with that are affecting their performance in class. So you don't have to worry about that. When we are on Zoom, we will be one-on-one. And if you come in there, you might have to wait a while until I deal with other people. I will know people are waiting, and so I will try and get through the person to make you not have to wait forever for each of these. So there's for Monday of this first week, Wednesday of first week, Friday of first week. Now, I am teaching 5 sections, and they are all full. All right, I have over 275 students. So we'll see what happens initially with office hours. To be honest with you, in my normal classes on campus, I tend not to have a ton of students. You can usually pop in and see me without much trouble. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm not trying to scare anybody, and I'm certainly not trying to dissuade anybody from coming into office hours. Students tend to find my classes pretty straightforward and tend to not have a ton of questions. So I think it's going to be fine. I think when you come in to visit me for office hours, it won't be much of a problem. We'll see. You know, the first day of class, I got 100 people in the waiting room. That'll be a problem. We'll have to maybe figure something out. I will give you an update once I hold a few office hours to let you know, like, hey, you know, people aren't waiting. It's not that bad. More of you want to come, and you were a little worried in the beginning. Come on by. Or if there's a lot of people, I'll tell you about it, and we'll work it through. But please, office hours are part of what your tuition pays for. All right? I will be available during those times, so do not hesitate to pop in and come talk to me about these things, particularly since we're online and you don't have a lot of other ways to access to talk to me about these things. Office hours are for you. All right. Week 2 is similar here. All right. You'll see a lot of the same stuff, right? Reading assignments, discussion questions, 3 lectures this week. The raw PowerPoints. The only extra thing you see here that you didn't see week 1 is week 2 unit assignment. Remember, every other week you're going to take a quiz. So there it is there. You'll pop that up, and they'll give you multiple choice questions, maybe some true-false questions. You'll answer those. It'll be 15 questions. You'll have 10 minutes to answer all of them. And that's how it'll go. Now, you'll notice other weeks aren't available. I will let you work 1 week ahead. So this week, when week 1 starts, if you want to do week 2 also, you can do it. Okay? But that's about as far as I want to let you work on. We have to be doing a lot of this together. We have discussion forums. I can't have you posting something 5 weeks from now that you know, we're still on week 1. And so the end of week 1, by Saturday of week 1, I will post week 3. And so during week 2, if you want to work ahead into week 3, it will be available. But just 1 week ahead. All right, everybody. That's about it. Welcome to this class. I'm really looking forward to this semester. And if you need any help, email me. Come visit me with office hours. Take care. See you soon. Bye.